The meeting of the Wetlands Board come to order. I'll introduce all the players. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Introduce all the players. Excuse me. On staff today is Olivia Hall, Director of Planning and Land Use. Kelsey English is our Codes Compliance Officer. And I can't pronounce your first name. It's Payne from VMRC.
Khadijah.
Thank you.
It's Miss Khadijah Payne.
Glenn Rowe is our internet operator and in charge of technical director, and Crystal Way is our administrative assistant today. And on the board, we've got Hunter Fledd, Will Toll, Bruce Julian, Andy Ransom, and in the audience, we've got John Nord, who is the alternate. Unfortunately, the chairman of the board today is Edna Rivera. She's out today, but she's stuck with me. We've got four today, people or projects to approve or disapprove. The first one call is Edwin. Is there someone here representing Edwin?
Irwin.
I'm sorry, Irwin. It's my dyslexia.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joseph Scott, P.O. Box 315, Kilmarnock, Virginia 22482. I'm the agent for the applicant.
Thank you. And could you read the publication?
Yes, sir. Bryant and Lori Irwin, care of Joseph Scott, P.O. Box 315, Kilmarnock, Virginia 22482. Request permission to install 245 linear feet of riprap revetment along the shoreline of Mosquito Creek, located off Virginia State Highway 775 on Snug Harbor Drive, tax map 39-23C, VMRC number 2024-0789.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, so this is basically repairing and refurbishing some stone that is already at the site that's in pretty bad shape. And in the process of doing that, in order to get the right slope on it, we're going to have to go out a little further, which throws it into VMRC's jurisdiction. And then, of course, that picture on the right there that we just passed, there's going to be some sand fill and plantings in that area right there behind that old bulkhead. So that's pretty much why we're here, is that really more of that section, because all the other intertidal area has already been impacted with stone. So, and I guess if you have any questions.
Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, it's on the old dredge canal. Well, I say it's not really a canal, old dredged area, so the water gets pretty deep pretty quickly. So we just decided to stay with the revetment that's already there, and it already has some high marsh behind it. So.
Okay, got any comments from the board? Questions? No, sir. No questions. How about staff?
No, sir.
No.
VMRC?
VMRC has no comment.
Thank you.
Audience.
Anyone in the audience want to comment on this project? How about online, Glenn? No comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Move that this project be approved as presented.
Second.
Moving second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Raise your right hand. Motion's carried.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. The Massey has been scratched for today. The second one up is Chet's.
Excuse
Taylor
me,
Chess.
it was Massey's withdrawn by the applicant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Is anyone, excuse me, is anyone representing Taylor Chess?
Yeah, Otis Cockrell, Eco Construction.
Thanks, sir. Could you read the application?
Yes, Taylor Chess, care of Eco Construction, 245 Blackwells Wharf Road, Burgess, Virginia, 22432. Request permission to construct a 257-foot riprap sill with 92 cubic yards of beach nourishment and 2,500 square feet of wetlands plantings, and to repair 183 feet of riprap revetment with an additional 87 linear feet of new riprap revetment, and to repair an existing 15 by 40 footboat ramp with oyster shell and gravel along Johnson Cove, located off Virginia State Highway 650, Fleets Bay Road, on My Farm Road, tax map number 29-62A, VMRC number 240527.
Okay, sir.
I guess what you guys were addressing was mainly the repair of the existing riprap and the extension on each end. The other portion was, of course, Group 2, living shoreline, that would fall under, I guess, VMRC's jurisdiction. And the existing boat ramp that's there that was not permitted, we'd like to have that included in this permit.
It's quite a project. Board have any comments? Questions?
No, I just wanted to thank Otis for the explanation of, this is a complex project using a lot of living shoreline techniques, and really appreciate your attentive to detail.
Okay, thank you.
Staff?
No, it looks like a good project.
Okay.
Staff recommends approval.
VMRC?
EMRC has no comment.
Okay. Anyone in the audience? How about the internet connection? No other comments? Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as the applicant has submitted.
All in favor?
Second.
Second.
Second?
Thank y'all.
Favor? That motion's approved. Next project up is David Johnson. Anyone here representing David Johnson?
Yes, sir, that's mine. Joseph Scott, P.O. Box 315, Kilmarnock, Virginia 22482. I'm the agent for the applicant.
Okay, thank you. Could you read that?
David Johnson, care of Joseph Scott, P.O. Box 315, Kilmarnock, Virginia 22482, requests permission to install 275 linear feet of riprap revetment along the eroded shoreline of Waverly Cove, located on Virginia State Highway 651, which is Boys Camp Road on Castle Lane. Tax map number 29-13D, VMRC 2024-0758.
Any comments from, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so this is a very heavily wooded bank, and as you guys saw from the site visit the other day, it's pretty deep in there. I mean, upstream from this property, there was actually about a 45 or 50-foot boat in there. So living shoreline got kind of ruled out on that due to the fact that they're trying not to get rid of all of that coverage in terms of the RPA area, because, you know, you got the granary right there. I mean, you start taking those trees out, you're going to start seeing it instead of just hearing it. So just trying to take the undercut trees down that are along the edge of the shore, and then put a revetment in there tight against the base of the bank. The intertidal area is pretty small. To expand it, to try to get the 8-foot and to put the living shoreline in there would put us in water depths that are close to 3 feet, which means you'd have to have structure that's probably 4 or 5 feet tall. I mean, at some point it's just getting a little out of hand in terms of impacts, honestly, because you'd be putting more impact doing that. So they're hoping to be able to just put it up against that undercut bank. And you saw the evidence. I'm not sure why the erosion is the way it is in that little quiet cove, but they definitely have some. So I guess if you have any questions.
Anyone on the board?
I don't, no question, Cecil, but I would just, you know, and I find your application very complete. I would just like to see in the future, as we mentioned in the field, elevations on the top of the rock. And if this erosion's not addressed, all the vegetation's going to be in the creek with that undercutting. So Joey, I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other comment? Staff?
I would just thank Joey for taking the time with us on site to explain how it would all be constructed. I know we had some questions about the logistics there, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Any questions? VMRC?
BMRC has no comment.
Okay, audience, anyone in the audience? Mr. Rowe, any internet connection? There's no problem. Entertain a motion.
Yes, I say this should be taken as it was read.
Second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Raise your right hand. Vote.
Thanks.
Next up is Jeff Rouse.
That one is also mine, Joseph Scott, P.O. Box 315, Kilmarnock, Virginia 22482, agent for the applicant.
You read the application?
Yes, legal notice is Jeff Rouse, care of Joseph Scott, P.O. Box 315, Kilmarnock, Virginia 22482. Request permission to install 70 linear feet of riprap revetment and 210 square feet of beach nourishment along the shoreline of Myers Bay, located off Virginia State Highway 655, which is Queenstown Road, on Cowshed Road. We didn't see any cows, Joey. Tax map 261-11, VMRC 20240684.
Go ahead.
So I've been told that's called Cowshed Road because they used to have a big barn down there, like in the 1930s, and that was like a happening place where you would, well, after, when it was no longer used for barn use, evidently it became like a dance hall or something.
Well, we've
So-
heard rumors of that, but we see no documentation.
Yeah. Travel was a lot different. I go to the end of roads now that there's nothing, and it's like, well, 100 years ago, this was a happening place because everybody came by boat.
Yeah, we heard we heard
What's a car?
we heard one geezer telling stories about this.
So yeah, at this particular site, that it is a north-facing site, and they do have trees on the back shore that shade this a little bit. There is a spit there to the west that is just getting annihilated by the fetch there over the years. So fortunately for Mr. Rouse, it's not his problem, but a portion of it has become his problem because it's washing on that one side. So this, they have an existing revetment on most of the rest of the property. I'm just going to carry around that same height from that revetment that's on the north side all the way to the property line. Technically, it's a revetment, but it's kind of like a sill because it's so low there. There's a high marsh behind it. I just figured it would be better to try to keep it close to shore there and continue the revetment on. We did talk about potentially pushing it offshore and building like a small sill type structure there and backfilling it with sand and planting it. My only apprehension with that, with suggesting that to the applicant, was the fact that there's Phragmites all over the place, and I kind of feel like frag would take it over almost immediately. So I think the best thing to do is to just go ahead, build this lower revetment in that particular area, run it through the property line, and then, you know, that'll be that. It probably will sneak in behind the end of it at some point, but, you know, that's on the neighbor's property, so they can't go any further than what's there. I guess if you have any questions.
Board have any questions?
Nope.
I had a quick question. Do you have any comments from approval from the adjacent neighbors? The property line's awful close.
They've been notified by me. I'm assuming that the county notified them as well. When I notify them, I send a letter and the drawings. And then in the letter, I explain to them where they can find the full application online. And I've not heard anything.
Okay.
Now, in determining where the property line was, the neighbor has a very good survey. So, and those steps that are there were very defined on that. So we worked off of that by eyeing it to make sure that we're off of that area. Because there is no, well, there was a marker, but I think it's washed out. So we're kind of going by the offset of the steps and lining up that to where that pipe is out there. So they had a pretty good survey that we could work off of, which is not always the case, so.
Yeah, it's mighty close.
Yes.
Staff?
Mr. Chairman, we also sent our APOs as required by law and have to date not received any feedback from the nearby residents.
DMRC?
VMRC has no comment.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone in the audience? Ben Rowe? Any internet? No internet? So, having said that, can I ask for,
I'd like to we approve as written, submitted, sir.
second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand.
Aye.
With no other business, can
Thanks.
I hear a motion to approve the minutes of last meeting?
I just want to make a note there, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
On page 2 of 7, I'm happy to report there in the third paragraph that the county has hired Mr. Hall. Crystal. So now we have the whole Hall family working here 10 o'clock.
He'll be shocked.
Stands corrected.
That's it. I see, Crystal. Been working with Crystal now for 100 years, right? And I just want to commend you for the work you do on one of the worst jobs in the county, in taking minutes and capturing the important things. But after how many years, I finally caught you in a mistake. You did it on purpose. Thank you.
I want to point out, I think this is Bruce's last meeting. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct?
Yeah, well, kind of.
Kind of. And I think he's agreed to be an alternate when called upon, so.
Only as the last resort, the alternative last resort when nobody else. And I would say, you know, it's been my pleasure for 5 years serving on the board to learn a whole lot and to get to know you all and to work closer with VMRC and watch that evolution and partnerships improve. Also to see how staff helps us make quality decisions through your input, site visits, preparation in advance, so that not just us who go to every site in advance, but so the audience can see that as well and online. So I'll thank you for that. I also told Olivia and Kelsey this morning, well, the chair who's out with a broken tooth today persuaded me to stay on as a alternative last resort, that as you find a replacement, another alternate,
Yes.
I will resign immediately and turn all those pension benefits over to the new person.
You're now the alternate's alternate.
Yeah, I'm way down the list now. Thank you, appreciate it.
We've enjoyed having you, we appreciate your input. No other business, meeting's closed now.
Motion to adjourn?
I'm sorry?
Motion to adjourn, can I make that motion?
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, we
I
got
think
somebody
we need a
to-
motion on the floor, Mr. Chairman, for Bruce to be an alternate, so we can take that to the Board of Supervisors at their next meeting.
Okay.
Rats.
So y'all want to,
Motion.
yep,
I'm sorry?
go ahead with a motion, yeah.
Motion to adjourn?
No, motion to have Bruce as an
Alternate.
alternate.
Huh?
Motion to make me the alternate of last resort.
The alternate of an alternate. Motion to approve Bruce as an alternate to the alternate.
I move that we adjourn and that Bruce be an alternate to the alternate.
Both of them.
I want to say something before we adjourn, and that's to recognize Kadisha Payne, who, for the first time ever, VMRC has accompanied us on the site visits, and I really feel like that's a benefit to us and you also. We can take care of any issues or questions in the field, on site. On site's much better than paper. And so I want to thank you, and I'm going to let you know that I'm going to tell Randy this too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Second to adjourn?
Second.
Approved? You got a second? All in favor, raise your right hand. We're adjourned now at 11 minutes till 4.
Close to it. Close.